So yesterday I drove to Monroe, Wisconsin. It's 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So picked up a Harley Davidson jacket, you know, brown in color. I took a factory seat and shaved it all away. I mean, if you know, pretty much like how your seat was on your bike, where it's a big ultra classic seat where we call them a couch. But I wanted a low profile seat, so I pretty much went and started shaping this whole seat into a low profile seat. So now at this point, I'll start adding the leather here, which I have to make sure. I knew that my max width on there was 11 inches wide. So I had to make sure that whatever design I got was less than 11 inches wide to follow the pattern. But also I wanted it to hit with the colors. If you look here, how the colors kind of blend, they coordinate with each other. It was actually a customer's bike last week. I don't know if you remember last week when you came in, but it was a customer bike, which he had it here for, he was an older guy, said he had planned on selling the bike. He was like, man, I done rode it, and you know, I don't really ride no more. So I'm looking at the bike like, this is the ugliest bike I ever seen. So as time went on, as I'm pushing it in and out every day, I'm steady saying, this bike is growing on me. So the lower leg fairings started getting me. Then all of a sudden I started saying, I'm saying a big seat on it, which is kind of got me saying, this bike is ugly as shit. So then eventually it grew on me as it's been sitting here. So I called the customer and said, hey man, you want to sell the bike? He was like, yeah, I'll sell it. So we eventually ended up talking up some good numbers on it. And I ended up buying it and stripping a lot of stuff from the seat to, it had the rails that went around it with all the lights. At this point, I'm trying to decide on if I'm going to, because these bikes have the rail lights on them, I'm deciding on if I'm going to flush these lights into the actual bag at this point. That way it still keeps a classic look to it, but it's a modernized classic look. So outside of that, I'm doing a 21-inch wheel in the front, which is a 40 spoke, and a 18-inch rim in the rear, which normally they come a 16-inch. Normally it's a 16-inch in the front and a 16-inch wheel in the rear. If you look here, this tour pack was originally an ultra classic tour pack, so nice and tall, I chopped it down. So with me chopping it, you can see where the original cut was here. Then I ended up removing probably about 4 to 5 inches out of it, but everything changes in size when you cut it and drop it. So that's why I ended up having to make these cuts here to bring things back out and make it where it still was coordinated with coming down even. So it wasn't no easy. A lot of people might think it was easy, but if you look here, you can see a lot of my original lines. I did straight lines all the way down. That way when I reconnected it, I knew exactly where everything was.